Okay, I'm gonna say it. A shootout is a skills competition, which means that this shirt still stands. Kevin Hayes, you suck. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Glove Drop. Tonight, the New York Rangers lose in a shootout to the Philadelphia Flyers 4-3. And yes, the only goal scored in the shootout was scored by that jackass, Kevin Hayes, who used to be a Ranger and really wasn't that good. And then he started doing well in Philly, which is bullshit. And I was going to make fun of Gritty, but I feel like if I do, somewhere off in the distance, I'm just gonna hear him screaming, "Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth!" That's what I think is gonna happen. With that being said, Flyers sucked this year. They were supposed to be good. I don't know what's going on, but with a record of 22, 36, and 11, they only have 55 points. And as of this weekend, in the 6-3 loss to the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Flyers are mathematically out of the playoffs. The Flyers are kind of a-holes. I mean, they decide going into Saturday's game that they're going to healthy scratch Keith Yandle, ending his 989 game Ironman streak. They weren't going to go to the playoffs regardless. Why are you going to bench somebody who's that close to 1,000 games on an Ironman streak? Bench somebody else. I don't understand that. I thought that was a dick move. Keith Yandle is the only person on the Flyers I have respect for, and he's supposedly the funniest, most team-oriented, best guy in the league, and then they have to go and do that. And the best part is, the kid that they put in his spot to take a look at finished with a -4. But back to tonight's game. As I said in my previous video, I expected the Rangers to go into these games against teams that were not very good and really didn't have any playoff potential and play with a little bit less urgency. Let me make this very clear. When I said that, I did not in any way, shape, or form mean that they were going to go in and play the way that they did against the Islanders. That was a disgrace to the game of hockey. It's one thing to be comfy in your playoff spot. It's another thing to five-finger slap in the face the entire sport, and that's what they did in that game against the New York Islanders. But coming into today's game, I did not have those fears. I really didn't think that they were going to come and do that again. If they had done that again, I would be causing a scene. I would be breaking down some doors. But they didn't do that, so I didn't have to do that. Nobody's getting arrested. Tonight, everything was a little different. Yes, both teams were playing very loosely, and it did appear on both sides that they were kind of playing to have fun. Philly has really nothing to lose. I mean, they don't have anything to lose as an entire city. They're not going to the playoffs. And the Rangers, despite that Islanders performance, are still really comfortable in their playoff spots, and they know what they're capable of. So it was kind of a I'm just here for a good time vibe going on there. It's really easy for the defense to creep up when you're having that much back and forth on the offense. I mean, the pressure on both sides, shots were being fired, and that can make the back check a little bit shaky. That is absolutely what it looked like in the first period. And in the first period, the Philadelphia Flyers managed to get 2 goals. I was like, this is it. Season's over. It was fun while it lasted. The Rangers are not good. This whole thing was a lie. Why does everything I love have to hurt me? But shout out to Steve Valiquette. I sometimes gauge my feelings of the game on the response of Steve Valiquette. He seemed more than confident in the team. From there, I stepped back off the ledge. So thank you, Steve Valiquette. Going into the second period, yes, the Rangers are still down 2-0, but there was a shift. They probably went to the locker room and were like, okay. There was definitely a wake-up call, and you see that they are no longer playing that same we're just screwing around type of game. Third period begins, and the New York Rangers really did cut the shit by then. The Flyers were still playing pickup hockey, which is fine because literally every game from now until the season ends for the Flyers is a game of pickup hockey. You're not going to the playoffs. Have some fun on the ice, boys, I guess? I don't know what to tell you. You're not going anywhere. 44 seconds in to the third period, the Flyers score again. And if it had not been for the very clear change in mindset and focus that the Rangers had come out with in the second period, that would be the moment where I lost my shit. Resiliency of this team in this season is the best it has ever been in the history of the New York Rangers. 24 comeback wins. And that is something that takes a full team effort. You can't teach a team to play like a team. That has to be built among the players, and they've built it up to a level that we've never seen before. The level of mental toughness that Igor Shesterkin has, he gets over things so quickly, and he is able to keep his head in the game so much. And so often we see goalies have multiple goals scored on them, and then it's good night, you're done. Shesterkin doesn't do that. He stays with it. That is the sign of one of the best goalies that we've ever seen, not just in the Rangers, but in the NHL. 45 seconds after Joel Farabee scores to make it 3-0, the New York Rangers comeback begins. For the 25th time this season, the New York Rangers go into comeback mode. Baby, come back. Yeah, they do that. The second that Panarin put the puck in the net, the New York Rangers completely took control. At 15:28, Mika Zibanejad cuts the Flyers lead down to 1, and he's getting assists from Vetrano and Lindgren. 12 seconds later, Andrew Kopp scores to tie it. New York Rangers had the momentum the second the Flyers went up 3-0. That second, they took it and they ran it through, pulled out a comeback, forced it into OT, and during the overtime, it was all Rangers. There was takeaways, there was full pressure the entire time. It was a Rangers hockey game. Despite the fact that the Rangers did lose in a shootout, I don't really give a rat's ass about a skills competition. I can guarantee you that if there was another overtime period where it was actual play, the Rangers would have come out with the win. A few takeaways from the game: the obvious resiliency, which we have seen all season long. Shesterkin putting on a clinic in net on how to stay focused. Also tonight, we're seeing Frank Vetrano and Andrew Kopp. Both of these new guys, they're still producing, still making Drury and the entire organization look great, and still confirming that the Rangers did win the trade deadline. But to me, the biggest thing is the amount that the Rangers were shooting. I understand that the New York Rangers are 17th in goals for. I know that that's the only argument towards why the Rangers won't make it through the first round. All of you haters that come in my comments and say, well, they can't even score. I get that. That is a concern of mine. If the Rangers are to lose in that first round, it is going to be, they're not pushing to get goals. The skills are there. The goaltending is there, obviously. It's just a matter of not putting pucks on net. Tonight, the Rangers put so many damn pucks on net. They had 86 shot attempts to the Flyers 37, and they ended up outshooting the Flyers 46-26. If it was not for the performance of Martin Jones, who was incredible tonight in net, as well as the Vezina level performance of the post, the numbers on the scoreboard would have been much different. That goal horn would have been blaring. So seeing the Rangers actually make adjustments in that and start putting pucks on net so much more is really, really comforting as I look towards this postseason. So the New York Rangers are still chilling in second place in the Metro with 94 points after 70 games played. The next game is Tuesday at New Jersey. I can't imagine that the Rangers are going to do anything other than come in and try and run the Long Island Railroad all over the Devils, because their performance against the Devils 2 weeks ago when they lost 4-7 was atrocious. I do not think that that's sitting very well with them at all. That's all I have for you guys tonight. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you guys managed to get through that game. Oh, there's a cat. I hope that this eased some of the concerns after watching that game for the Rangers fans. If you are new here, I hope you'll hit subscribe, hit like, let me know down in the comments what you think. I'm going to start doing questions. So if you guys have any questions, you can send them to me on Twitter, start answering them in the videos. Make sure you go do that. And while you're hopping around on that social media, I do have plenty more content. You can check it out on Instagram, TikTok, obviously Twitter, at The Glove Drop. I will see you guys all in the next one. But until then, I'm going to go and write a thank you letter to Steve Valiquette for the emotional support.